Hello and welcome back to another Doctor Who action figure review. Today I'm taking a look at the latest B&M release, which is the Sensorite set, featuring the first Doctor, a Sensorite, and the Sensorite Elder. How amazing is this? Sensorites, figures that I have wanted for so long. Finally released. More 60s monsters. We've been asking for a long time for more 60s monsters. Sensorites were right at the top for the Hartnell era. I love them. They're a great monster. I mean, they're not really a monster, are they? They're an alien, but they're very effective, and it's great to have something else on the Hartnell shelf that isn't a Dalek or a 10th Planet Cyberman. So, as ever, let's crack on with the review and start off by taking a look at the packaging. So the figures come packaged in this standard window box featuring the new series Doctor Who logo, the grey and blue TARDIS, the gold limited edition foil sticker, and then on the back we have a look at the figures inside, and we also have a little synopsis about the Sensorites, which is a new addition to the 3 packs. And speaking of new additions, we have a display backdrop inside as well, and this is a beautifully rendered version of the spaceship from that story, from the first episode. And episode 1 of that story is great. I know some people aren't a fan of the serial, and it is quite long. I've always been a fan of it, and I think that first episode in particular is incredibly atmospheric, and the cliffhanger with the Sensorite peering up through the window is superb, very creepy. So I absolutely love this. It's just very retro, very sort of 50s B-movie. It just looks great. We'll start off with the first Doctor, because the first Doctor is just a repaint of the first Doctor that we've seen before. It's kind of in the vein of the version that came out in the 13 Doctors set, minus the Web Planet necktie and waistcoat. The hair is white, but you have a grey wash there, which really brings out the sculpt. I really like that, actually. I think it just adds a little more to it, which works really well. All of the paint apps are very strong around the eyebrows and the eyes. He looks quite startled, but I'm not surprised. He's just seen the Sensorites. They've stolen the lock to his TARDIS. I'd be quite surprised myself. And then we move down to the jacket. This is basically everything we've sort of seen before on previous First Doctor figures. You have the waistcoat with the stripes, the monocle, the necktie is blue, quite a bright blue actually, it looks really good. The frock coat is as we've seen it before, with the several buttons on the front and all of the seams and the buttons on the back. Again, great sculpting. Both of his hands feature rings. He's got the small one on his little finger, and he has the silver one on his middle finger on the other hand. The jewel isn't painted blue on this one, however, just worth pointing out. And then we have the trousers, which are very much in the vein of the 13 Doctors set. So they're brown with the dark brown checkers, much smaller checkers than on the other First Doctors that we've seen in the past, the one that came out for San Diego Comic-Con and the TARDIS set. And then the shoes are just the same as the other ones, the dark brown sort of leather spats part, and then the black main leather shoe. Now, as far as I'm concerned with the smaller squares on the trousers, that to me says more of a Season 3 look. I think I will definitely be putting this version of the Doctor alongside my 10th Planet Cybermen for a Season 3 display. Then, of course, we have our main attraction, which is the Sensorites. No offence, William Hartnell. But we've been waiting a long time for these, and they look great. They look so good. So, much like with the Vord, they reuse the Claws of Axon Man body. There is, again, much like with the Vord, a lot of new tooling. Obviously, new head, which we'll look at in a moment. Brand new hands, and brand new lower legs and feet. So, looking at the head sculpt, it's just brilliant. It is so good. I love the look of the Sensorite. It's an unusual look with the wispy beard and those little small beady black eyes with the bushy eyebrows and the domed head. You know, they're supposed to be relatives of the Ood, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be taking pictures of these guys meeting the Ood when they get hold of them. It's a really lovely head sculpt. They've done a very nice job with it. You know, you can see the wrinkles around the mouth. The beard has a lot of texture to it, and you've got this sort of a greyish tan colour, but there's also darker grey washed through it, so it just really draws it out. Absolutely beautiful. And you can see that they've, again, kind of like with the Vord, they've added the collar onto the neck piece to make it look like the collar of the jumpsuit extends up to the neck, which works very well. And something that I love while we're talking about the neck piece is that they've even added a painted zip down from the neck all the way down to the back. That is brilliant. That was something that really didn't need to be added, but they went for it, and I love it. It's so, so good. Then, of course, he has his little mind stethoscope thing, I forget what they're called, that they put to their heads when they're using their telepathy. So what they've done here is we obviously have a new sculpted piece for the disc. As you can see, it's silver and it's got like a etched sort of effect on the top, and that's just been glued into place. And then for the cord, that has just simply been painted onto the torso of the body, which I think works well. Obviously, it's a shame that there's no way to have the Sensorite hold that to his head, but hey, we've finally got a Sensorite. I'm not going to be splitting hairs about this sort of thing. Then moving down to the arms, you have the 3 black lines painted onto the sleeves. The new gloves, which work very well. You can see how they all crease towards the wrists, all bunched up like actual fabric. And then when we move down to the legs, particularly the lower legs, like I said, these are new pieces because they've really captured the fact that the feet and the legs, it's all one piece. It's all part of that legging. And of course, they have the hilarious circular feet, which look so good. And the way they've sculpted them, you can see the actor's normal feet inside and the way that the fabric drapes over them and stretches the creases. Oh, it's so good. It is so good. They've done such a wonderful job with these guys. And they've even added a slightly dark wash over the feet as well. It just looks brilliant. It just looks so good. I'm so pleased. And to sweeten the deal, they even have the little silver weapons that they use. This is what they use to burn out the lock from the TARDIS. So that has been sculpted, painted in silver. It looks so good. It looks exactly like it does in the episode. Fits snugly into his hand. And I mean, look at that. That's just brilliant. That is so good. I need to find more words, but I can't. They're just, I love them. So if we quickly move over to the Sensorite Elder, so it's basically the same figure with some additional tooling and slightly different paint taps. Looking towards the head, this guy has a lighter beard. The beard is white with the grey wash. Again, that works so well. Really brings out the sculpt, the darker bits breaking through. Just brilliant. Lovely head sculpt again. And I like that they've done it a different colour just to differentiate them slightly. Now, of course, the thing that sets the Elder apart from the other Sensorites is he has 2 black sashes. If you haven't seen the Sensorites, spoiler warning, it's a major part of the story, the fact that the Sensorites all look the same and that without their sashes, we wouldn't be able to tell them apart, even though some are taller than the others and some are slightly chubbier than some of the others, shall we say. And in the same fashion, we have the black sashes added. So this is a solid piece. It's been sculpted in such a way that it looks like 2 separate sashes, but it is just one whole piece. And that is just already attached, just black PVC plastic, and it works really well. It does exactly what it does on the episode. It sets it apart from the other ones. And again, differentiate it further, he doesn't have the black lines on the sleeves either. But he still has the same dirty wash on the feet. Not quite so dirty because he's an Elder. He doesn't go kicking about quite so much as the other guys. And again, yeah, he comes with his own little handheld device. What can I say? He just looks great. He looks so, so good. I'm thrilled. Absolutely thrilled that we finally have not just a Sensorite, but a Sensorite Elder. Didn't think we'd get both. I thought we'd just get one. Amazing. Okay, so now let's crack on with the articulation. In terms of the articulation on the first Doctor, very much standard. He's got a swivel joint at the neck, so the head can turn left and right. Shoulders, so they can swivel all the way around. Also at the biceps, so they can swivel. Pivoting elbows. Articulation at the wrists, so they can turn. At the waist. Hips. Allowing the legs to go back and forth and out to the sides. At the thighs, and of course at the knees, so they can pivot as well. For the Sensorites, slightly more articulation, so again, swivel joint at the head, half ball jointed shoulders, allowing the arms to swivel all the way around, but also go out to the sides as well. Swivel joints at the biceps, elbows, wrists, waist, hips, out in front and out to the sides. At the thighs, at the knees, and of course, at the ankles. So, there we go. A wonderful set. I'm so pleased. I am so pleased. I can't put it into words how happy I am we have Sensorites. It's amazing. I know it's daft. They're just some bold blokes with beards, but hey, they're bloody brilliant. I'm so pleased that we finally have them. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to go away and play with these Sensorites because they're so great, and I hope you all manage to get hold of them. It's a lovely set, especially if you're a fan of 60s Doctor Who, and I'll see you all next time for another B&M Doctor Who review, which is the first of the new History of the Daleks sets. Stay tuned, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye!